Welcome to Amanda Oakleaf Cakes. Today we're going to talk a little bit about structure. So, we have a Cookie Monster cake here, and our challenge is to try and figure out a way to get his top jaw to separate from his bottom jaw and kind of stand up by itself. So you can see there, Cookie Monster, he's kind of got a wacky mouth. It's kind of slanted and it's doing its own thing a bit. So, how do we get that to happen with cake? And the answer is structure, because this cake also has to drive for about an hour. So, it also needs to be quite stable. You can't have a bunch of fragile cakes bumping around in the back of the car. So, what we did here is quite simple. We took, and it's basically 3 boards. It is a 1 inch by 1 inch, if you can see that there, 1 inch by 1 inch pole. It's a square pole. You can get those at Home Depot. That is screwed into just a piece of 2 by 4 here, which is kind of a slant, just mostly for aesthetic reasons. It could just be a square piece of 2 by 4, but it's screwed in there into the back. And then on top of that is just a nice little flat piece of masonite here, and I have mitered that top at a 15-degree angle. I set it at 15 degrees, and then I kind of held it at a slant, so that way I get this kind of quirky little slant to it here. Slants on both sides, as you can see. And then I just screwed that a single screw into the top, and I'm going to loosen those screws, and I'm going to put some glue between the wood, just regular old hot glue between the wood, the top piece of wood, and this piece of wood here. And I do that because there's one screw and I don't want it swinging around. Next step is just to screw it down to the base, and I just went and simply traced around the bottom here, as you can see. And now what I'm going to do is, since I traced around the bottom, I can go ahead and mark where I want my screws on that base to fall. And I'm just going to screw, drill right straight through there, and then when I flip the board over, it'll have 2 drilled holes. And then I can just know exactly that it's going to go exactly into where I want it to go into. So that's a little bit of the carpentry behind this Cookie Monster cake. So I'll put it all together and you'll see it when it's done. Alright, now that Cookie Monster is put together, you can see that this one's going to be purely buttercream because they have a fondant allergy. Gelatin allergy, rather, which obviously there's gelatin in the fondant. We just stacked up the cake, and I believe that this one is in at least 3 divisions. So there's a cardboard about right there, and another one about there, and then straws, structural support in between, just like standard. You can see in the back here, it still has that support exposed. And now Amanda's just giving him a crumb coat of buttercream. Here's the picture that we're working off of. So then we'll come back and we'll give him a final coat of buttercream, and he should be good to go. Alright, so here is our finished Cookie Monster, from structure to finished product.